Zach Detmore here with another boring organizational video, and today I'm talking about a handy checklist to use before you put primer on your new renovation or new home. So let's jump into it. Why do you need a checklist? Well, hopefully a checklist allows people inexperienced on your team, or you if you're inexperienced, to get the job done right the first time, to avoid having to go back and fix something, right? That's the general idea. So I made this checklist for my team to make sure we hopefully got it right the first time. Let's get it up here and show you what it looks like. Bong! There it is. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is sand all the joints smooth. Seems obvious, but sometimes maybe you sub that out and you don't want to do it yourself. So go ahead and check that they're all smooth and sanded. Blend and feather together areas where compound meets drywall. So compound is usually smooth after being sanded, and drywall might have a little texture. So you want to make sure you look extra critically at those areas because those will be an area that's a tell. Let's see. Sand corners and blend to avoid deep cavities between the two surfaces. That makes sense. Basically, if you have a corner, sometimes you'll run the knife in the corner and that'll create this big divot. So you sort of want to get into that corner with a sanding sponge just to make sure there's no sort of like big blobs of mud that you may not notice now while everything's sort of matted and the lighting's bad, but once it's painted, you really notice that. So see what the light's doing. Hopefully you're in the spot for a whole day. See what the light's doing. See where the light's coming in and being very critical of what the drywall's doing. And by critical, I mean reflecting at an angle that's causing harsh shadowing to happen. So if you look directly at this and there's the ceiling, say, convex, right? You're not going to see a shadow, but as I turn the light up this way, there's going to be a shadow here. So look for where the light's going to be really critical of that surface and make sure that you do extra prep work there, sanding, adding joint compound to make sure that looks good. Push on the drywall where you are going to be compressing it with hardware, such as towel bars, toilet paper holders, floating shelves. Because what's going to happen is, imagine that say the stud was concave, you put drywall on, it was straight, you put a drywall screw in, there's the drywall screw sunk, but there's still some air there because of the concavity of the stud. And then everything looks fine, you sand and you move on, and then you put a toilet paper holder, and as you're screwing that into the wood, it depresses that. So now the airspace is gone, but the drywall screw head has now protruded and caused a nail pop either above or below. And I see this happen so commonly. So know where the toilet paper holder is going to be and give it a little, shove it and see if you can create any nail pops. And that'll really let you get ahead of it because it's so easy to fix it now. After primer, after paint, after wallpaper. Ugh, not cool. This is such an important step. Don't miss this one. Vacuum dust in whole work area and inside of electrical boxes. Vacuum, 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 vacuum. There's no reason to take drywall dust with you to the finished stages of the job. This is a huge opportunity. The walls will get dust free. Go the extra mile now and change your filter, change your bag, get that floor spotless. If you need to get a blower to get in there, do it. Because what's going to happen when you come with an airless sprayer, for example, is you're going to blow dust and then it's going to stick to all the new wet paint. All of a sudden you have a terrible texture. Guess what you're getting out? The nice sanding block that you thought you just put away. All right, so it makes sense. Vacuum. Cover all finished surfaces with drop cloths. Obviously, don't get paint on finished surfaces. Why does this keep needing to be repeated? But it does. Cover finished surfaces. Remove all non-painting. So anything that has to do with electrical framing, insulation, get it out of there. What are you working around these tools for? You can't work productively with a roller while you're looking above you and trip over a stool and fall on your back because you were too lazy to empty the job in the first place. Get all the non-essential tools out of there and get back to work on the painting. I'm being ridiculous, but you get the idea. It's so easy to say, I don't feel like taking all the tools out, but all of a sudden you work so much more productively if you have a clean space. All right. Basically, if you're spraying, if you're going to be applying the primer with an airless machine, just go the extra mile with cleaning and protecting. If you think you're gonna overspray by 6 inches, go 18 inches on the masking film. Just overdo it. So that's my before primer checklist, which you can download on my website, detmore.com, under the resources tab. And hopefully this has been helpful. If you really enjoyed this content, I know it's boring, but hopefully it's helpful. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so you know exactly when my next organizational video is coming out. Thanks for watching.